Hi, friends. JB here, and today we get ahead of the game. Today we start to rock it, take it to the next level. We're in Proverbs 12. You know what, my friends? When you get backed up, it is such a challenge to scrap and scrape to get back to where you should be with Christ, where you should be in this world, and for your purpose in Christ. It's challenging. And when the opportunity strikes, you need to make it happen. You need to dig in. We're in Proverbs 12. We're catching up. We're ahead of the track. And this is the day. This is the day the Lord has made. So let's see what we have. Proverbs 12. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge. Ooh, whoever loves discipline loves knowledge. You're going to get knowledge through discipline. Okay? And you're going to get discipline through knowledge. But he who hates reproof is stupid. Bam. They don't beat around the bush in the Bible, okay? They're not here to coddle. They're not here, the wisdom, the God that we serve is not here to simply appease you. He will take his time and with his good plan if it should please him. He's sovereign. But he will tell you, look, who hates reproof is stupid. Okay? An excellent wife is the crown of her husband. That's so true. If you are a man, your wife, having an excellent wife is at the top of the head, and that's the head, right? So that is excellent, and you are setting yourself up for a good way. I'm glad I have a great wife. My wife, I love her, and she is excellent. But she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bones. You ever had a rotten piece of fruit or vegetable? It's the most disgusting thing when on the outside it looks really good. But then when you cut it open to sort of dive into this feast, you crack it open, you cut straight across, and the center is full of black rottenness. It is the most sickening thing that it can even impact you for years to come as you think back to that one particular vegetable. And, she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bones. That's in your bones. That means you feel it, okay? That's not just an outward thing. It's like that rottenness of that vegetable, it's in your bones, and it stays with you. It's tough. It takes a long time to get rid of that. Better to be lowly, and have a servant than to play the great man and lack bread. That's like the guy who has the money to buy a boat but doesn't have money to maintain it, doesn't have money to do anything with it. It's a foolish thing to play above your level, and it's better to play a little bit smaller, and we all need to do that, especially in America. This is tough. Everyone wants everything right now. They want the immediate pleasure. They want to have it now, have it yesterday, and they're willing to put all kinds of money down and get charged all kinds of interest for it. Yet, what happens? They basically come to ruin, and it's a struggle of life, and they're basically a slave to these people for times to come. All right, from the fruit of his mouth, a man is satisfied with good, and the work of a man's hand comes back to him. You work, that's coming back, okay? The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice. You've got to get counsel. I've done it too. There are people who I wouldn't necessarily recommend getting counsel from because I know that they're wise in a specific area that I'm looking for. Then there are times I do that. You have to really discern and know people that such that you don't get advice outside of that particular area of their expertise, right? Like a shark, you know where your boundaries are with a shark. You don't go too far in. Okay. The vexation of a fool is known at once, but the prudent ignores an insult. Just ignore it, brother. Just ignore it. The vexation of a fool is known. You know that when a fool is trying to get to you. Okay, people fall into that trap all the time. There is one whose rash words are like sword thrusts, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Okay, so look, I've got a tongue. I can really get rash, and I know that it's damaging. I've tried to. I feel like I've given that up, but I know it's still there. If need be, the Lord needs to pull it out. But the tongue of the wise brings healing. Much more beneficial, more powerful tool to have a wise tongue than one that has sword thrusts. But God can use things at any time for his good plan. Whoever is slothful will not roast his game. Can you imagine getting a deer? You're getting out there, you've nailed the deer, you shot the deer, and you're too lazy and foolish to go ahead and cook it up. Sits and rots. But the diligent man will get precious wealth. The diligent will not only cook that up, he'll make jerky and get skin, and he'll make some clothing out of it. Let's read it out, guys. Proverbs 12. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but he who hates reproof is stupid. A good man obtains favor from the Lord, but a man of evil devices he condemns. No one is established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous will never be moved. An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bones. The thought of the righteous are just. The counsel of the wicked are deceitful. The words of the wicked lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright delivers them. The wicked are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous will stand. A man is condemned according to his good sense, but one of twisted mind is despised. Better to be lowly and have a servant than to play the great man and lack bread. Whoever is righteous has regard for the life of his beast, but the mercy of the wicked is cruel. Whoever works his land will have plenty of bread, but he who follows worthless pursuits lacks sense. Whoever is wicked covets the spoil of evildoers, but the root of the righteous bears fruit. An evil man is ensnared by the transgression of his lips, but the righteous escapes from trouble. From the fruit of his mouth a man is satisfied with good, and the work of a man's hand comes back to him. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but a wise man listens to advice. The vexation of a fool is known at once, but the prudent ignores an insult. Whoever speaks the truth gives honest evidence, but a false witness utters deceit. There is one whose rash words are like sword thrusts, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. Truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Deceit is in the heart of those who devise evil, but those who plan peace have joy. No ill befalls the righteous, but the wicked are filled with trouble. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully are his delight. A prudent man conceals knowledge, but the heart of a fool proclaims folly. The hand of the diligent will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor. Anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad. One who is righteous is a guide to his neighbor, but the one of the wicked leads them astray. Whoever is slothful will not roast his game, but the diligent man will get precious wealth. In the path of righteousness is life, and in its pathway there is no death. My friends, this is JB. Get wisdom, get it now. Take good care, my friends.